కెండల్ పార్క్ ఫస్ట్ ఎయిడ్ రెస్క్యూ స్క్వాడ్ సిబ్బందికి లూకాస్ పరికరం అందజేశారు తానా ప్రతినిధులు. న్యూజెర్సీలోని సౌత్ బ్రౌన్స్విక్ లో పూర్తి సేవా దృక్పథంతో పనిచేస్తున్న ఫస్ట్ ఎయిడ్ అండ్ రెస్క్యూ స్క్వాడ్ సిబ్బందికి సుమారు 15 లక్షల రూపాయల విలువైన లూకాస్ మిషన్ ని తానా ఫౌండేషన్ ట్రస్టీలు శ్రీనివాస్ ఓరుగంటి, విద్యాధర్ గారపాటి, బోర్డ్ ఆఫ్ డైరెక్టర్ లక్ష్మీదేవినేని, కమ్యూనిటీ సర్వీసెస్ కోఆర్డినేటర్ రాజా కసుకుర్తి సమక్షంలో ఇవ్వడం జరిగింది. ఇక ఈ డివైస్ వల్ల అత్యవసర పరిస్థితుల్లో ప్రాణాలు కాపాడటానికి చాలా ఉపయోగపడుతుంది. ప్రతి ఏడాది అమెరికాలో సుమారు 3.5 లక్షల మంది గుండెపోటుతో మరణిస్తున్నారని, సకాలంలో కానీ CPR చేస్తే చాలా మందిని బ్రతికించుకునే అవకాశం ఉంటుందని కెండల్ పార్క్ ఫస్ట్ ఎయిడ్ రెస్క్యూ స్క్వాడ్ చీఫ్ శ్రీని వల్లూరి తెలిపారు. ఇక కెండల్ పార్క్ ఫస్ట్ ఎయిడ్ అండ్ రెస్క్యూ స్క్వాడ్ ఎటువంటి లాభాపేక్ష లేకుండా కేవలం సేవా దృక్పథంతోనే పనిచేస్తున్న వాళ్ళకి తానా లాంటి సేవా సంస్థలు ప్రోత్సహించడం చాలా అభినందనీయమని సౌత్ బ్రౌన్స్విక్ నగర మేయర్ చార్లీ కార్లై తెలిపారు. ఇక ఈ కార్యక్రమంలో కౌన్సిల్ విమెన్ అర్చనా గ్రోవర్, టౌన్షిప్ మేనేజర్ బ్రయాన్ బిడ్లక్, పోలీస్ చీఫ్ రేమండ్ హాయ్దికే, లెఫ్టినెంట్ జాన్ పెన్నై, పోలీస్ ఆఫీసర్స్ జారెడ్ హార్ప్స్టర్ అండ్ ఆఫీసర్ కిమ్, చీఫ్ ఆఫ్ కెండల్ పార్క్ ఫస్ట్ ఎయిడ్ శ్రీని వల్లూరి, కెండల్ పార్క్ ఫస్ట్ ఎయిడ్ ఫస్ట్ రెస్పాండర్స్ టీం సభ్యులు, కీర్తన గారపాటి, తానా ప్రతినిధులు రామకృష్ణ వాసిరెడ్డి, సుధీర్ నారేపలపు, శ్రీనాథ్ కొనంకి, రవి కొల్లి, శ్రీనివాస్ చెరుకూరి మరియు సతీష్ మేక పాల్గొన్నారు. తానా సేవా కార్యక్రమాలు అమెరికా మరియు ఇండియాలో ఎప్పుడూ ఉంటాయని, ఈ కార్యక్రమానికి సహకరించిన ప్రతి ఒక్కరికి తానా అధ్యక్షులు శ్రీ లావు అంజయ్య చౌదరి, ఫౌండేషన్ చైర్మన్ వెంకటరమణ ఎర్లగడ్డ గారు ప్రత్యేక అభినందనలు తెలిపారు.
And we are a 100% volunteer organization responding to 911 medical emergencies here in Kendall Park and South Brunswick and part of Franklin Township. So again, we are 100% volunteers. That means when we don't get paid, and when we go on calls, we don't bill patients. We don't have any mechanism to bill, or we won't be billing. We respond close, as Kendall Park, we respond close to 2,000 calls in any particular year. We have volunteers from various walks of lives, from IT professionals to pre-med students and attorneys, and you name it, we have all of them, businessmen, career medical professionals. So off late we noticed that the number of cardiac calls went up a bit. So in fact, last week we had a 22-year-old having a cardiac arrest, and we had another cardiac arrest on last Thursday. So when we go on these cardiac calls, I mean, the typical thing is we start with compressions, depending on we start with compressions, hook on AED, and then look for airway, keep airway patent, and we work on it by the time paramedics come in. Most of the times, police, they are the first ones to arrive on scene, and then we go there. It depends on where each of us are there. So now this year, in the beginning of this year, I met O. Srinivas from TANA. I know him for 30 years. We went to school, and we were discussing about stuff, and he knows what we do, and he generously asked us if they can donate some money to our squad. I'm not a big fan of taking monetary donations, and I prefer some kind of equipment. If we take monetary donations from you, we may buy cookies or something like that, and money will go away by the time we realize. So that's why then we said, no, instead of getting money, and a week before I met Srinivas, we had a cardiac call on Route 1 on Christmas night. So then we realized that equipment like Lucas will be of great help, and I requested O. Srinivas, and Raja was there, and Ram Krishna were there, and they were kind enough to oblige that request, and they started working on it, and we have Lucas here, and this one will help not only the patients, even rescuers like us, and our wonderful police officers. You have Jared and Officer Kim here. Thank you. I'm sorry, Chief, I forgot to introduce you all first. We have Chief Heduka from South Brunswick Township. We have Township Manager Mr. Bidlack, and our friend of the squad, John Penny, LT Penny here, and Councilman Archana Grover, and we are waiting for Mayor. He should be here in a few minutes. They have our backs, and without them being there in the front, we wouldn't be able to do anything. And these two officers, they are like, for me, they are like paramedics. When they go there, they're always there, and they are EMTs. They train people on CPR, and Jared is there for most of the training for in the police department. So now with your generous donation, what we'll be doing is we'll not only be training all our members, including myself and all our members, we'll be training these two amazing officers. So with this Lucas, now when we go in, and as we have trained responders, they will hook the Lucas on any patient having cardiac arrest, and while Lucas does the entire compressions job and providing quality compressions. So we will work on patients, opening the patient's airway, and do any kind of suction, do manual ventilation, and many other things that happens on any of these cardiac scenes.
We have a civilized society, and I mean this deeply. Everyone here could have chosen anywhere in the world to live in. You could be in England, you could be in Turkey, you could be anywhere you want to be. You could be in California, but you chose South Brunswick. People of high education, high income. And why'd you choose South Brunswick? Because we have good roads, and that's exemplified by the chief, the town manager, your councilwoman. This man, Lieutenant JP, is a great man, and also those young men over there. And that's why you chose South Brunswick, and that's why we have a leader like yourself. And how many years, Frank?
45.
45 years. And God bless you, and God bless us all, because a town isn't made by politicians who warble on. A town's made by the people in it, the people that fight for it, the people that protect it, and the people that inhabit it. This town is yours. This is our time, and this is our place. And I encourage everyone to make it a strong and healthy town for our children. Many of them never want to come back, which is a mystery to me. But so that's Italian deep. But it's because of people like Ann Grover that we're here. People have invested their lives into this town. And I am sure her husband, Vin, hardly ever smiles because of her political hijinks. He is, I get the sense that he is sorely vexed by it, as my wife is. And I mean it with every ounce of my being. I'm proud to serve with Mrs. Grover, Chief Hayduka, Lieutenant Penny, those gentlemen, Town Manager Bidlack, Mr. Shukla, and every one of you, particularly the volunteers, because you're doing God's work, whoever God is.
So as I mentioned, when we go on any cardiac calls going forward, we'll be using the generous donation from you, Lucas, and we'll be using that on all the calls going forward. And we sincerely appreciate it. And one other thing to add to Frank's 40 years of service, we do have another member of our squad who's our current deputy chief. His name is Alfred Lopier. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it to this event. And he is completing not 40, not 45, 50 years in January. 50, volunteering with the squad. So that's how much dedicated our members are.
Now, Chief Alluri, you ought mention that years. You probably have 150 years of service in between everyone.
Yeah, your daughter-in-law, 3 sons,
And that's what makes the bones of a town. Gentlemen, proceed accordingly.
yeah.
And you too.
Yeah, and we thank you for your donation, and some of you are from South Brunswick Township, some came from Madison and East Brunswick, and yeah, few of them
Don't
were...
tell me there's anyone from Edison here.
Yeah, there are.
The donation came from Edison, actually.
Oh, God. That's like having the Irish come into town. You can't have that.
No, actually, we really got inspired by the South Brunswick people. So we are going to do this in Edison too.
But
you're off to that.
you do whatever you want in Edison, but if you're donating anything, device like Lucas, give it to us.
Same thing, useful to everyone. Thank you so much.
You know, that thing will hop me out of my first heart attack. So I thank you.
Yeah, and again, as I said, this one not only helps the patients and their families, this one will reduce the rescuer fatigue. And if you look at the stats, there are many instances where the first responders, after doing a CPR call without this device, they had cardiac arrest and they passed away. Yeah. And just some numbers to give some numbers, the number of cardiac arrests outside the hospital settings in United States is 360,000 per year. So devices like this will surely of great help for all of us, and we thank you for doing this one. This is for the community. And again, as I always tell, he might have heard many times, gone are the days where you tell like, hey, I'm paying my taxes, government will take care of it. No, we need your participation. And you either volunteer with us like what we do, or this is equal to what we do. So thank you very much. And again, as I said on a serious note, we are at any point of time, like right now we have 3 rigs in town in service. But if you think of doing something for first aid squad that directly helps the residents of our township, if you can donate one more, if you can see if you can donate one more Lucas, that will be of great help.
Yeah, we can work on that.
And again, as they say, I mean, we have a saying in Telugu, Manav Seve, Madhav Seva. Means it's what it means is, Mr. Mayor, this is like helping fellow human beings.
Yeah.
Is like serving God.
God.
That's something derived. That we strongly believe in that. That's why we do this.
That is, in every great faith, they call it having a servant's heart.
Yep.
Gentlemen,
Yeah,
that
big
young
shout
man
to
to
them.
that man.
You are our first responders. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So Mayor, if we can actually reduce the taxes, we can do more of it.
That will never happen. And Exhibit A is something I saw on the patch today. Your school superintendent got a $1.5 million, whatchamacallit,
I'm not going to say anything.
contract, which is vexatious to Archinette and I. He doesn't make that much money, neither does he. Actually, all those guys don't make that much money together. But 70+% of your taxes go to the school budget,
Yeah.
and you ought to pay attention to that. The way they spend your money. There used to be 9,900 children in the custody of the school system. Today there are 8,000. Apparently all of us have stopped making children. And we're aging in place. However, they are still spending. And so, pay attention.
And to piggyback on what Mayor Charlie is saying is, be educated voters. It's not that you look at my name, Archana Grover, and because she's from India, I have to vote for her. No, look for what I did. And especially for school board, please be an educated voter, because our money goes to them, everything. So no matter where you live, and that's how it is.
Listen, when I see her name on the ballot, I get scared. She is whatchamacallit, she is an exemplar of the best and brightest things
Thank
about
you.
this
That's
town.
why I love you. Thank
And
you.
she is probably one of the best people I've ever met in my life.
Thank you so much.
No, I'm happy to have met you.
And one more thing to the young guys, please encourage other of your friends in the township or wherever they are to participate. I think I got the application today, so I see what I can do. I don't know.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I had the application, I ripped it up.
No, I thank you, the Telugu,
But
association. for
These
each one of
guys,
you.
those guys, you guys,
Yeah.
thank you for what you do for our town.
Yeah.
It makes
Thank
the
you,
bones
Smith.
of a good town.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All the best with your election.
Yeah.
Good luck with your election.
He's a winner.
You know what? We plan our work, we work our plan. The election's already over. I don't look tired by accident. I look tired because I am.
You work.
And
Working till 3
we
o'clock in the morning.
are hard
4 o'clock,
chargers.
yeah.
And if you have a place that is good and worth fighting for, that's why God gave you teeth. And that's what we do.
And I.
Ms. Grover,
No.
myself, with the help of great men like Deep Shukla, we're hard chargers. And what backs that up is good government. Mr. Bidlack, Chief Hayduka, Lieutenant Penny,
Yeah.
Mr. Harpster, Mr. Kim. We're not successful by accident. We're successful because
All your work.
that's what we do. You guys work for free, which I don't understand. And Mr. Lobear works for free with his family for, oh geez, a century and a half, which is mysterious. But that's what makes the bones of a good town. And like I said at the front end, you could have gone anywhere in the world, but you chose here.
Thank you
And
so much.
we're happy to have you. Chief, you don't mangle the English language as well as I do, but I would like you to say a couple words.
I would love to say a few words. As always, I say it all the time to make friends and partnerships is before you need friends and partnerships. So we've been trying to continue this relationship for many years. The community is only, a police department, especially all emergency services, is only as good as the public and the community that supports you. So we are proud in this police department to be your partners, and we're thankful for you. I say it all the time, every chief of police should be as blessed to have such a great community, great people, a great governing body that supports us. When they were defunding police, 2 years ago, our mayor and council were funding us and supporting us. And we are forever grateful like that. I know many of my colleagues in the State Chiefs Association left. They said, we've had it, the town's not supporting us, the elected officials aren't, I'm leaving. You know, we were losing about 10 or 11 chiefs throughout the state a month. I'm a town resident, I've been here, I'm a new guy, as Joe Camerata says, only 30 years. So I'm like the new guy, but it's, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. So once again, thank you.
I mean this sincerely, I get maudlin, I get tired. When I have my first heart attack, I expect those gentlemen to show up. When my wife shoots me, I expect those gentlemen. And that is the price we pay for a civilized society. And
So,
God bless us.
Mr. Mayor, when that happens, even you need us as well.
Yeah, welcome.
Wow, someone's got to take the gun out of her hands.
we also do like a lot of community events here in state of New Jersey as well as in the country. The one example is like we used to train before the pandemic, like CPR. We used to provide the CPR training to the youngsters as well as the family people. So we trained almost like 300 people like before the pandemic, but because of the pandemic we stopped doing it. But I think we should start again doing CPR training. So that helps at least like by the time like EMS comes, if somebody knows in the family the CPR how to do it, it will give a chance to save the life. So on top of it, we provide like backpacks to the community kids as well as some food donations. Like Lakshmi said, like we did a lot of food donation during the pandemic to the healthcare workers and all. We send food and all those things.
Robert Johnson.
Yeah, Robert Johnson Hospital and all those things. Yeah.
Keep it going through this institution.
Masks
Yeah.
and
As Frank testified,
Yeah.
this place has been going for a stretch of the legs. And I would encourage everyone to put their donations and equipment and best efforts through Kendall Park First Aid and Rescue Squad. Because I'm not a religious man, but I have the sense that you're doing God's work here.
And, I would like to ask like one thing, like for the CPR trainings and those things, like when we do in the town, in the South Brunswick area, maybe we would ask like maybe we can use some of the halls here, like the
You see that man there?
Penny.
Yeah.
John Penny, Lieutenant John Penny. If I had my way, Chief is not going to like this. But if I
have
had my
that
way, we would have a department of emergency management, and JP would honcho it. And I know you have, the chief's mind is always in gear. I would like nothing better than for him to be our head of emergency management, because he's got to get things done in a healthy and happy way.
yeah, sure. Yeah, we have like the CPR kit.
He's the man.
Mannequins and all those things. We can come and train the people. We can gather the people and train them.
The chief has been doing a lot of those things with
And
you, so we'd be
we
happy to help.
live in Judgesburg.
Oh, you?
He is almost my neighbor. I live in
Yes.
Bangkok.
JP could be making so much more money.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well done, Chief.
Thank you very much.
Hi everyone, this is Sonu Sood. Please subscribe.
JSW TV.
JSW TV.
JSW TV.
JSW TV.
JSW TV.
JSW TV.
Please sign in Uplay.
Please sign up for Uplay.
యూబ్లెట్ యాప్ సైన్ ఇన్ అవ్వండి, రక్తదానం చేయండి.